Welcome, everyone tuning in on Sports Engine Play to the Nino Cantu Athletic Complex as the West Seattle Junction prepare for their third-to-last game of the 2026 season. They play host to FC Olympia. The Junction come into this one just one in sixth place in the USL 2 Northwest, just 1 point ahead of Olympia. However, Olympia have played an extra 2 games, and in fact, this is their last game of the season. So we welcome you to the broadcast booth. Oscar Lopez, joined by former U.S. men's national team international Tony Crudo. And before we get Tony going, for the second time in a couple weeks, I will have to apologize in advance. Olympia have once again brought their iridescent numbers on their kits to the Nino Cantu, and therefore it is nigh on impossible, especially with the unblocked sun that we are getting, to see the numbers and therefore tell which player is which. I will do my absolute best, but I'm sorry in advance if I do get players' names wrong. With that out of the way, Tony, you've now watched the Junction play a couple times. What do you think they have excelled at, and what do you think they need to do to maybe take that final step to really reach the level of the best in this league?
Well, I think they're learning to work together. They're learning to trust each other. It was interesting the last game. We discussed this before, tactically, what's going on. But I think more just on a personal player level, coming back last week was a big deal. It doesn't seem like much. You just look at the score and say 3-3. Well, what kind of game was that? Well, it was a game in which we were behind by 2 goals going into the last 20, 30 minutes, and we came back and tied it up and actually could have won it. I think that kind of thing sends a stronger message to the players, the coaching staff, than any kind of tactical thing to do. I think they just have to keep believing they can do it because they did a great job. They were playing a good team, I thought, and they played well. So belief is a big part of being successful.
Well, this will certainly be, on paper, West Seattle's easiest game remaining this season. They play 2 more home games after this next Friday against Snohomish, and their final game of the season a week from today against Portland. Snohomish, of course, sitting currently at the top of the USL 2, and Portland in third, and a pretty big gap between third and fourth. 10 points separates Portland and fourth place Mid-Lakes. If West Seattle were to win this game today, they would jump all the way into that fourth place spot ahead of Mid-Lakes, which would be ideal. Now we have the starting 11s. Starting first with the visiting FC Olympia. Aiden Strickler is in goal. Back four of Ethan Peck, Corbin Kuhn, Evan Faulkner, and Braulio Navarrete. The 28-year-old Neil Boyle starts in midfield next to Dash Stein and Yel Van Dyke. Mirai Sato is up top with Cooper Schneider and Carlos Murillo Pavon either side of him. And now for West Seattle. Gage Lambert is preferred in goal over Lucas Martin. Sean Brune has been called up by the Haiti under-20s national team. So His normal spot at center back will be taken by Teague McCammon. He starts next to Connor O'Keefe. The fullbacks are Hallstrom and Guevara. Keegan Chapko, Richard Conces, and Mateo Herrera make up the midfield three. Alex Mejia is back. He starts up top, flanked by Marcus Bravo and West Seattle Junction top goal scorer Taisei Iida.
Well, I think it's really interesting that we've lost Brun, who's off with the Haiti under-20s. That's a key player. We didn't think about that when we were talking about the game prior. I think that could have an impact. He seemed to be in the right place all the time. And, I mean, the last game it was 3-3. Well, 2 of their goals were on free kicks that he could do nothing about. But he was everywhere in the back last time. So I think this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see how McCammon slots in there. It'll put extra pressure on Connor O'Keefe as the other center back to really lead that back four. He won't have his normal partner. Another thing on the kits, we've got blue on blue.
I know.
It's like, not to make it about myself, but it's like somebody, preemptively said, you know what? Not only are we going to allow Olympia to wear those disastrous kits, but we're going to then include a kit clash. Although we'll see how it looks when they're playing. Maybe dark blue and light blue is not so bad next to each other.
Yeah, I've always been surprised. Teams now change uniforms all the time. And I always think, is it hard to remember what color you're doing? I don't know if the players, how long, because this is a pretty close blue. I don't know if it will impact the game at all, but I've always thought it must be interesting. It seemed like when I was playing, everybody had either white, black, or red or blue. That was it. So, you just didn't have those colors. But now there's all these different shades and gradations of color. This is really close. I don't know how it impacts the players.
On your screen, Olympia will be in the light blue, kicking from right to left. West Seattle Junction in the dark blue, kicking from left to right. And it looks as though it will be Olympia to get us going as the Junction prepare their third-to-last homestand of the season, and in fact their third-to-last match of 2026. Fourth place on the line for West Seattle. If Olympia were to win, they would jump up to 5th place ahead of the Tacoma Stars, and in fact they'd be level on points with Mid-Lakes United.
Well, I think we're going to do. We've got 3 games left. I think we're going to get some points from these 3 games. The league is not that far apart. The scores are pretty close.
As it's a shot on goal off the kickoff.
It's tremendous.
Initially testing Gage Lambert, who has replaced Lucas Martin in between the sticks for West Seattle, and immediately giving away possession. Can see very quickly Olympia settling into a mid block, allowing West Seattle to have possession with their back line. Here is Teague McCammon wide for Richard Conces, who looks to have actually shifted across to fullback. We'll see if that remains to be the case, and I imagine it won't be, as Hallstrom has now come back to take the throw, and he sends it in the direction of Alex Mejia, who I'm sure West Seattle will be very happy to have back in the starting 11, as that's a bit of an iffy header from Connor O'Keefe. And Olympia have it inside the attacking third, cutting it back towards the top of the box. Conces in the right place to intercept. Hallstrom gets it clear only as far as the Olympia midfielder.
Well, we started the same way we start all games, trying to, assert our ability to hold the ball in the back, to move it from side to side, to get the other team to see what the gaps are. No surprises. And we kind of talked about this. Once your team has formed its tactics, they don't change that much. Ooh, that was lucky.
Pressure from Iida, and then a sliding challenge put in by Keegan Chapko. Referee says play on. Here's Iida, and another sliding challenge, this time from Braulio Navarrete, to concede a throw, and then Chapko a little slow to his feet. Eventually helped back up by Carlos Murillo Pavon.
It's interesting. I wonder about the mindset of the players. They don't have really much. They have 1 game left. They don't have much room to move. I mean, Olympia, this is it. This is their last game. We're going to eventually climb over them, so they're kind of stuck in their spot. I wonder what they're thinking as a team. They think about next year. They think about their college seasons.
Cleared away by Olympia. McCammon's first aerial contribution as a center back is given away in midfield. Now here come Olympia down the left-hand side, intercepted by Bravo, and he can now go the other way. Marcus Bravo cuts inside, flicks it in towards Alex Mejia. Now down the right-hand side, it was intended for Chapko, deflected out for a West Seattle throw.
That was nice. It was nice that Mejia didn't have the player on his back, which is interesting, because usually when you have a player up top like that, there's somebody on their back all the time.
Cross-played in towards Mejia. That one was easy for Strickler. Now Olympia can look to go long. This time testing Connor O'Keefe. It's a good ball to find the left-sided attacker of Olympia who couldn't control it.
He should have done a better job with that, but it was a great serve. I mean, dropped it on a dime, basically, and the player had time to control it, but I think he stuck his foot out. It just bounced over and went out of bounds.
That was Cooper Schneider unable to control.
Well, they seem to have good speed up top. I wonder if they're going to be using a lot of that.
Guevara trying to pick out Mejia. Good tackle by Alex Mejia to win it back. Goes backwards for McCammon. Hallstrom, under some pressure, goes long. Blocked before it really got anywhere, but it will bounce into the path of Mejia. He can't find Chapko, and now here's Neil Boyle in midfield. The 28-year-old went to Cal Poly and actually signed a professional contract with Central Valley Fuego FC in 2022, back when they played in the USL 1, the league above this one. They since have parted ways with that organization.
Boy, they are dangerous in the back. You know, they are trying to do the same thing we do, which is possess the ball and kind of control the game from the back. But, man, are they taking some chances.
It's a good tackle by O'Keefe. Rides the challenge, feeds it forward towards Marcus Bravo, who I think thought Mejia was going to make a run behind him. Bravo did eventually get a foot on it, but it's dealt with by the left back Peck. Right back in possession of Junction, though. Mejia can't control it and will concede the throw-in.
I don't know. I'm looking at their defense, and I'm thinking that they have way too much confidence for what the abilities they've shown, and I think it's going to come back and bite them. We'll see. We look very comfortable on the ball, even without Bruin back there. And our structure looks good, but they look like they're making stuff up. And when you're a defense and you don't know where your other defenders are, it's really tough. And it feels like that.
Heaved forward by Guevara. It will bounce for Bravo. Not a half bad first touch, but the referee will blow for a free kick given the way of FC Olympia. 5 minutes in, a bit cagey, a lot of long balls.
Yeah.
Nobody's really been able to maintain possession with the ball on the ground.
Well, you know, I always judge a team by its midfield. And, again, a defense doesn't have to pass it around the back. They can just whack it. So that's, you know, they don't have to pass it around the back, but you have to control the midfield. You just have to do that.
Boyle swings a very long free kick into the path of Carlos Murillo Pavon, but Hallstrom was with him all the way.
Yeah, I mean, they just bypass their midfield. So eventually somebody's going to have to figure out who's going to dominate the game in the middle of the field. And you pass the ball around the back so that you can find your midfielders. You know, why bother passing it around the back if you're just going to kick it over their heads?
Over the top by FC Olympia. Lambert off his line and gets there without much trouble.
Yeah, well, this is not a great game right now. We're not seeing a ton of skill. You know, nothing seems to be working very much for either team. They can't seem to get out of their defense under control, either team, to get the ball to the midfield. So they're bypassing the midfield and kind of whacking it up. And, of course, when you're knocking 50-yard balls, it's really difficult. So hopefully the coach right now is yelling at both teams, get the ball on the ground and find some midfielders.
Header missed initially by Peck. It's now with Stein of Olympia. Murillo Pavon over the top looking for Schneider. There was Guevara to win the first touch and the second. Picked up in midfield by Boyle of Olympia. Now with the center back, Evan Faulkner. He looks to find Schneider on the far side. That one's well over his head. Evan Faulkner of Portland Community College. Went to Riverdale High School.
That's 3 balls they've tried to hit Faulkner on. I mean, they've long ones. They're trying to drop it on a dime right onto him, and they've actually been successful 3 times now, but he hasn't been successful doing anything with it. I wonder if that's a tactical thing or that he's fresh or he had success last game. I don't know.
Well, it seems like we're going to see a lot out of the Guevara-Schneider battle.
I think so.
The near side. Throwing in towards Mejia. He's flicked it on for Marcus Bravo, but the referee's given a free kick the way of FC Olympia.
I think Mejia pushed the guy as he was going up for the header to kind of clear space for him so he wouldn't get hit in the chin.
Well, we've seen Neil Boyle send a free kick, essentially the length of the pitch. We'll see how accurate he is with this one, but an opportunity for Olympia to find a ball into the box.
Well, they've got the wind with them.
It's true, a wind tunnel the Nino Cantu. Boyle, in fact, leaves it. It's curled towards the near post and drops right on top of Gage Lambert.
That's a little dicey, actually. That was scary. It was dropping quickly in front of the goalkeeper.
Hallstrom. Now Mateo Herrera came on in Junction's last game against Bigfoot. Given the start this time around, he forward towards Mejia, tried to angle it into Bravo with his chest. Marcus Bravo fights to win it back and finds Conces in midfield. Ooh. That's a good ball into Taisei Ida. First opportunity he has to stretch his legs. Goes one way and then the other. Brought down. Free kick for the Junction. Great move, Taisei Ida.
Great ball. And this is an excellent opportunity. 19 yards out between the hash marks to the left. What a great chance to score. This is going to be a good free kick.
Well, that's exactly what West Seattle are looking for. Send it long into Mejia so they can get it up the pitch. He leaves it for whoever wants it, essentially. Mm-hmm. Bravo cuts in, finds Conces. Lovely ball through to Ida, and that's where Mike Mata will want Taisei Ida running at those fullbacks. And he got the better of him that time.
Yep, that's exactly what our tactics that I've been watching. Big man up front, everybody runs off of him. He wins the ball and finds somebody, or lays it back who finds somebody. That's exactly right.
Well, it's going to be the big man to take this free kick. Nobody else standing with Alex Mejia. Referee making sure that the Junction players are at least 1 yard away from the Olympia wall. It's 4 in the wall. Mejia will go for goal, strikes the chest of the wall. Second opportunity! Oh, yes! What a finish!
Whoa, that's awesome. What a great shot.
Alex Mejia hammers it into the back of the net. No chance for the goalkeeper. And on the 10-minute mark, exactly, West Seattle Junction have the lead.
Yep. Ball got knocked out, had a perfect bounce. Man, oh man, that was a great shot.
Mejia tries for the near post, blocked, and then just obliterates it. Oh, man.
That went right through the goalkeeper's hands, but I don't think he knew his hands were there.
He saw the shot get blocked, then he blinked, then he looked again, and the ball was in the back of the net.
Exactly. I mean, the goalkeeper actually had his hands in the exact position they're supposed to be in, but the ball was between them before the muscles were aware they were supposed to catch it.
Welcome back, Alex Mejia. He missed the last 2 matches for West Seattle. Comes back and in just 10 minutes nets his 4th goal of the season.
That was tremendous. What a great shot. Boy, it just popped up into like this volley, and he put everything on it. It was great. Wonderful finish. Every forward wants one of those, by the way. Comes back at you, and you just hammer it home.
Kamen looking for Ihido well over his head. And it's back now with Faulkner. And again, a long ball towards the wings off the mark for Olympia.
Yeah, they're sending a lot of long balls from way back. A lot of long balls. I don't think it's going to catch us.
Flicked on by Mejia. That's a great header. Here's Iida again. Forward run is being made, and he's gotten it to him. It's Marcus Bravo. Away from one. Still going. Bravo goes down in the box. He was sliding to try and connect with the shot. Don't think that's going to get given.
No, he was kind of stumbling through, and he was getting little touches on the ball, but he was going down the whole time. It was just a matter of, was he going to get hit hard enough to get a penalty? Oh, there's that
Opportunity to go long for Olympia. This time it will connect. Here's Carlos Murillo Pavon. Across to meet him is Hallstrom. Murillo Pavon finds Van Dijk in midfield, and he recycles through Boyle. Yell Van Dijk, pressured by Mejia. He's just able to get it away and find the left-sided center back, Corbin Kuhn. Boyle once more, feeding it down the line. O'Keefe had the step and will shield it out for a goal kick.
It was a good run by their forward, but O'Keefe read it the whole way. The forward ran in front of him, allowed him to see where he was going, and then took off and tried to get past him. He can't do that. He's got to stay off his shoulder and make the run when O'Keefe has to lift his head to look at the ball.
West Seattle will certainly want the through balls to go down O'Keefe's side rather than McCammon's. As Herrera finds Hallstrom, he goes long. However, both Ida and Mejia had checked into the midfield, so no one was there. It's back now with the goalkeeper, Strickner, sending it away as the pressure came from Bravo, and that one goes all the way through to Lambert.
Yeah, they seem to be hitting some pretty long balls to their forwards. Kind of hoping something happens, I guess.
Well, the good news about putting a center midfielder or a center defensive midfielder, whatever you want to call Teague McCammon at center back, is he's very likely to be calm in possession.
Yeah.
As Lambert miscues that pass. We'll see how he does in those 1v1 defensive situations and how his positioning is across the back line. Those are the two main question marks. Taken down the line by Schneider. He's muscled off of it by Guevara. The referee's given not given a free kick. It's given a goal kick, excuse me.
No, I think the guy was... He took two players on, beat the first player, but then he had to beat the second player, and that wasn't going to happen because those two players, defenders, were working together to send him down the line. So it shouldn't have been a surprise once they got past him. Good defense. That was excellent defense is what I guess I'm trying to say.
Kahn says, good ball to find Hallstrom in space. Run is being made by Iida. He gets it from Hallstrom. Iida flicks it back into Ryan Hallstrom, who wasn't ready for it. Away by Boyle. McCammon will usher that ball back all the way through to Lambert. It's a couple nice through balls down this over on the far side by Richard Kahn says.
Yeah, they've been doing a good job. I like the way that West Seattle's speeding up their play a little bit, and the give and goes are faster, and the balls playing off each other just seem to be quicker.
Here's Iida.
I mean, that's well timed right there.
Hallstrom down the left, low cross in towards Marcus Bravo is seen all the way by Evan Faulkner, but it will be at the cost of West Seattle's first corner kick of the afternoon.
Oh, I think it's still a throw-in. It came short up the post.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, it is a throw-in. Hallstrom finds Iida. Couldn't flick it into Marcus Bravo. Cleared away, but one back in midfield by Herrera. Iida beaten to it by Carlos Murillo Pavon, who is doing a lot of defensive work on the far side. Hallstrom long throwing into Iida. Turns away from one. Still in the box. Iida saved by Strickler.
I don't know how much the goalkeeper knew about that save.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit lucky that the shot from Iida was kind of right at him.
Yes, it was. And he, again, just like the, no.
That's a dangerous pass back. It's given away. Bravo has it in the box. Iida's wide open. Surely 2-0. Yes, it is.
There you go.
In fact, it's not Iida. Keegan Chapko for the West Seattle Junction doubles their lead on a horrific error from Olympia.
Yes, that was ill-advised. Like we talked about, their passing around the back doesn't look great.
Yeah, well, you predicted it. Given away. Bravo gets around the goalkeeper. Nobody with Keegan Chapko, and he could hardly miss.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, okay, we kind of discussed this a little bit. When you're a team and you're passing the ball around the back, there's no creativity involved. It is all organized and planned, and everybody in the stands could see it. And when a team doesn't look organized, it's obvious. It just looks like they're making this up. They don't know where they're supposed to be. So that is not a surprise. If they keep holding it in the back, they're going to do it again, too.
Yeah, Olympia are going to need a bit of a change of plans here.
Perfect example. You don't try and beat the player in the back like that. You don't need to. Your number's up all the time when you're a defender. And
they got lucky that time.
They got lucky that time. But they've done it 5 or 6 times. It doesn't lead to good things.
Flags up on Mejia.
Yeah, that's what it was that bothered me. The players were actually having to beat our forwards, which is a mistake. Olympia's defenders should not be dribbling when they're one-on-one. That just means they're disorganized.
Sato, back for Mario Pavon. Decent idea, looking for Schneider down the left-hand side, but overhit by the Olympia midfielder.
Yeah, they have a lot of speed on their left side. I think that's where they're going to go all game.
Stein couldn't quite get the weight on his pass. O'Keefe has no problem with sending it long when under pressure. Maybe Olympia should take some notes from him. Bravo's won it. Guevara tried to feed it through to Iida. It was blocked on the way in. Immediately won back by the Junction. Hallstrom back to McCammon. Sato is pressing. Guevara. Mejia. Shielding Faulkner off the ball for the moment, but it's won by Faulkner. And now Schneider has a lane down the left-hand side for Olympia. Recovering is Herrera. Schneider gets the cross off. Only McCammon there. Mejia forward into Bravo. And then that's an exquisite ball by Bravo. Chap goes in. Can he get his second on the night? Keegan Chapko to make it 3. Goes down in the box. Penalty.
Yikes. That was perfect timing. It was very close to offside, but, looked good enough to me.
What a ball by Bravo. Completely
fantastic.
cut them open by one pass. Chapko was in, and you imagine he would have finished from there. That is certainly a penalty.
Yeah.
Double jeopardy means it won't be a red card for denial of a goal-scoring opportunity because he was inside the 18-yard box.
Yeah.
But it will be a penalty kick, and Junction have an opportunity to extend their lead to 3 in under 20 minutes, and for Olympia, only Aiden Strickler standing between bad and worse.
Yes, this could get ugly. This could get ugly. It's their last game of the season.
It's Conces to make it 3, saved by Strickler.
Wonderful.
And he's kept Olympia in it. Still not clear, though. Back in by Bravo, blocked. And sent out for a throw-in.
Well, at least the goalkeeper gets to walk away with something in this game. He saved a penalty. But I think there's going to be more shooting.
Yeah, Olympia look completely out of this one for now.
It's too many gaps. Of course, we're playing very quick. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of hesitation on these runs and the third player movement. We're just going for it.
Heaved in by Guevara over the head of Mejia. Brought down in midfield by Stein. He's collapsed upon by Herrera, but Olympia have gotten it away. Not the worst first touch in the world from Schneider, but O'Keefe again was there to pick up the pieces. Now here's Conces, who just had his penalty saved by Strickler. O'Keefe and Herrera is forced to clear it away.
I wonder if Mejia is kind of whispering to himself, I should have taken that. I should have taken that. I should have taken it.
Backwards by Guevara. O'Keefe winning 2 headers, both in the wrong direction, but gets bailed out a little bit by the referee's whistle.
Here they go.
So if you're Luke Sandblom, the head coach of FC Olympia, what are you saying from the touchline? Is there anything you can say?
Well, again, it's the one of the biggest problems, and we talked about it a little bit before the game. This is their last game, and they can't move up or down in the standings. So it's just a matter of let's go through this last game and get it done.
They could move up. They could pass us if they beat us, and then we lost our other games.
Think so? I guess they could.
Mathematically, yeah.
Mathematically, I guess.
And actually, this is the last game as far as the standings go that we're favored in.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tough last 2 games for West Seattle.
Well,
Snohomish and Portland.
I would be telling the defenders to find your midfielders faster. Midfielders show a little bit quicker, and let's move the ball a little bit faster from defense because they're taking way too long to get from one area and transitioning to another. And I don't mean just to whack the ball. They're just losing all these balls.
Schneider beaten by Guevara.
They're losing way too many balls they shouldn't lose. That should have been played back and moved back around quicker.
One player who seems quite calm and composed in possession for them is their center forward, Mirai Sato. But he just hasn't seen much of the ball.
Yeah, they're not connecting. There's the connections aren't happening. They're hitting a lot of long balls, and they're just not working out. Oh, looks like we have somebody coming off.
Yeah, Guevara is still down. Trainer will come take a look. Mirai Sato, the center forward for Olympia of University of Hawaii at Hilo. Originally from Suganami-ku in Tokyo. Went to high school in Japan at Komazawa University High School.
Well, he may be really dangerous, but we'll never know until his team can pass him the ball. Every ball seems to be going to the far left side. And you can see there's great speed on that side. They got kind of a powerhouse guy who looks a little like Jordan Morris. Big shoulders. Looks like he can really just plow through things. But we're as fast as he is. And so he's been trying to beat that side, get around, maybe to lay balls in, but he just can't get around us.
I wonder how this game will look in 30, 40 minutes because there's a lot of sprinting, like a lot of real sprinting. There's not a whole lot of the ball settling down.
Yeah.
And it's warm out there.
Well, we had a great game last week, the 3-3 game against Bigfoot. That was a great game to watch. The ball possession, the movement, the flow. The game just had a nice flow that just sitting in the stands you could see the flow. There hasn't been like that this game. We are seeing some good attacking stuff from West Seattle. The Junction are really ripping them apart. But there's not I'm not feeling a flow yet. And I guess you ask what I'd say if I was a coach. I'd say let's start possessing the ball, moving it around, and getting a flow going. So getting a rhythm.
Hallstrom into Taisei Iida. Still the top goal scorer for West Seattle Junction, but Mejia has now come within one. That's a great ball. Hallstrom trying to angle it into Mejia. Cleared away. Iida's won it back. Here's Ryan Hallstrom once again. Turns away from one. Cuts inside the 18-yard box towards Mejia. Blocked and cleared by Olympia. Stein flicking it into Sato, who cushions one right back into Dash Stein. He tries to lift it over the top for Schneider. Goes all the way through to Lambert. But that's what I was saying. That was a good touch from Sato. He seems very good on the ball.
Yeah, I don't think they use him enough. They've been bypassing him and going down the lines a lot. Again, they look pretty speedy over there, but so do we.
O'Keefe across for McCammon, who has it taken off of him. There's that speed you were talking about. Here's Mario Pavon taken down by Herrera, and that will be a pretty easy free kick call for Olympia. And is this their route back into the game?
Yeah, this is where Sato has got to make his money. He looks like he's the biggest guy on their team up front, and he looks at least the size of most of our guys. Mm-hmm. So I would think that they would try and pick him out.
Looks like the biggest player on Olympia is Corbin Kuhn, who's pushed up.
Yeah.
Left-footed in-swinger from what is essentially a corner from a few yards closer. Floated towards the back post. Not a bad ball. Took a bounce in the box. Sent back in. Away by O'Keefe. Only as far as an Olympia player. But there's McCammon to clear it. Boyle picks it up and sends it all the way back to Navarrete.
Okay, here's this guy wants to beat him.
Getting away from Bravo. No, he didn't. Really well defended by Bravo.
Yeah.
And it will roll all the way through to Lambert.
I mean, it's obvious that's one of their key I guess points of attack is to go out wide and outrun the defender. They haven't been able to do it.
Bravo taken down. That'll be a free kick. And I think Neil Boyle is a little bit lucky to have not been booked there. Bravo has building up a head of steam.
He's been defending at speed and attacking at speed.
Marcus Bravo's having an excellent game.
So far, yeah, he's looked really good.
Sent long by O'Keefe into Chapko. Scored one of West Seattle's 2 goals and won the penalty that Conces couldn't convert. Guevara goes down off of a push from Dash Stein. And West Seattle will have a free kick in an interesting area.
With Mejia up there, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't go short quickly. They'll just lob it up there and see if he can do some work against those defenders. Of course, they've got 3 players basically bracketing him right now. They must realize that he's a threat. They've got a good-sized player on him.
Sent in by West Seattle towards the back post just behind Herrera. Cleared by Olympia only as far as Chapko. His strike is blocked by Boyle. Now Iida. Bravo cuts in away from one. Flicked it into the path of nobody and away by Olympia, this time for good. Hallstrom now. He's had a good last couple of games, Ryan Hallstrom. He feeds it through Mejia. Will take an interest. Completely shanked by the goalkeeper, but the flag is up on the near side.
But that was a bad call because the guy who was running through, Mejia was onside.
It was the other one?
Yeah, it was the other guy, and he never even got near the ball. He stopped running. That was a bad call.
Hallstrom leaves it for Iida. He's got runners ahead of him, but undersold Marcus Bravo. Now Boyle in midfield, giving it away. Mejia, he's got runners with him. He leaves it for Marcus Bravo. That one's blocked and will go out for a corner.
Wow, Bravo took it off Mejia's foot.
Yeah. Well done, though, by Evan Faulkner to stay with Bravo the whole way.
Yeah, that was, I think it would have surprised a lot of defenders because I think they thought Mejia was getting ready to shoot it. And I think Mejia brought his leg back to strike it, and Bravo took it off his foot. Which is great. He got closer to goal, but didn't quite get away with it.
I think that's good, though, because Bravo had been sprinting from a little bit, 10 yards back, so he was already at top speed.
He was. He had taken off.
Conces will send this in for the Junction. Pinged in towards O'Keefe, away by Faulkner. Iida will pick up the pieces. Over on this near side, Taisei Iida has Guevara with him, instead flicks it into McCammon. Now here is Guevara. Inside the 18-yard box, spins towards the back post, missed by Bravo. He was trying to bring it down and just took his eye off the ball. What a chance.
Bravo's just gotten in the middle of everything. I don't know how it's worked out, but he's just gotten in the middle of a lot of stuff. He should have controlled that. Just lay it first time back to Mejia.
Yeah, Mejia was standing right there with them.
Yeah, it is.
Kuhn away. Chapko. Bravo. Chapko. Bravo. In towards Mejia, who somehow managed to turn the corner. Couldn't muscle Faulkner off the ball, however. And Evan Faulkner, did he keep that in?
No.
Or at least he kept it from going for a corner.
Yes.
Will be a throw-in.
He just got to it and kicked it a little slightly farther up the field. Well, we're really compressing them right now.
Yeah, it's been all West Seattle for his first 30 minutes as Guevara sends it in towards Mejia over his head. Nobody making that run at the back post for West Seattle as McCammon prevents it from going all the way through. Hallstrom straight to Boyle. He brings it down for Dash Stein. Stein feeding it through. That's a great ball, but just too much for the run of Cooper Schneider.
It was a good ball.
They have some quality in midfield. Boyle's good. Stein is good.
Yes.
And they're looking for Sato and Schneider going forward. It's clear what they're trying to do, but there's just, it's a bit disjointed.
Well, they started the game going down that left side over and over and over again and get nothing out of it. I don't even see anybody over there now. So I think maybe the coaches said, push inside. We're going to run 2 forwards and skip the far left side. Because there's just nobody even over there now. And that's what they were doing at the start of the game. See what I mean? Look, there's still nobody over there yet.
Now across comes Schneider. He wants the ball into Van Dijk, who gets it.
Okay, this is what they started the game doing.
Schneider cuts in, whips one towards the back post. Hallstrom was there. He finds Iida. Great first touch and then turn. Iida able to make his own space. Outlets or tries to outlet Guevara. Just a millimeter too far ahead of him.
Iida's is playing on fire. He looks like he's faster than everybody else. Like everybody else is on half speed.
He probably is.
he's just buzzing. Him and Bravo they seem to have bigger battery packs than everybody else.
Herrera pressed by 2. Tough one for McCammon to control. I think Herrera was just concerned with getting the ball away from himself. McCammon will go long. Iida leaves it for Mejia. He's turned away from Boyle. Mejia angles a perfect ball into Bravo, who's through to make it 3. Great save by Strickler. Bravo on the second attempt, and it is 3-0.
Wow.
Marcus Bravo finally gets his goal at 35 or so minutes in. Is that already game over?
I think it is game over, but unless some miracle happens, but I don't see it. They look really good. That was what you said.
I mean, it's just a perfect ball by Mejia. Strickler off his line really well, but then Bravo able to react before the center back who was with him.
Unbelievable. I mean, that was a great ball. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
But that's the second time we've seen that same play. Hit Mejia. He gets the ball. Nobody's close enough to him. He turns, knocks it through, and you're on with the goalkeeper. Very nice. We'll see. They got to get to halftime, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So they can discuss what's going wrong, because there's a lot of things going wrong in that back. And here they go. They're going to try and knock it around the back, build up a rhythm.
It's crazy. The wingers have been killing Olympia. Bravo and Iida have just been having their way no matter where they are. And we've mentioned defensive contributions by the center backs, Faulkner and Kuhn. Have not mentioned Peck or Navarrete at all, really.
No.
Those fullbacks for Olympia. Here's Murillo Pavon down the right-hand side. Up against Hallstrom. And he nearly just passed it straight to Iida. It barely makes its way through to Braulio Navarrete.
Well, Iida is very fast. Oof.
That pass under hit from Faulkner. Across came Guevara.
Yeah, they were already behind. It's 3-0, and we've missed a penalty kick, which is a miracle.
So you say if you miss a penalty kick, you don't deserve to win the game, right?
Yes, I do say that, but that's my my old wives' tales. There's no foundation for that theory, but I've just found it to be true. Historically. Well, Brazil they missed a penalty.
They missed a penalty, and by the way, if you're recording the game, spoiler, don't listen. 77th minute, still zeros between Brazil and Norway.
Maybe I meant that theory for only World Cup games. Yeah. If you miss a penalty in World Cup, you don't deserve to win.
Yeah. Free kick here for Olympia. Not a half bad spot to try and get it into the box. It's Stein who fires it in. Not a bad ball. Wow. And Olympia have a goal. Banged in at the near post. Ahead of Lambert. That was an excellent ball in by Dash Stein.
Just had to be redirected. It was awesome.
And I think that was Mirai Sato.
Yeah.
Who was able to put it away for Olympia. He has looked like their most prolific forward when he's got on the ball. And that was a very good finish.
Yeah, well, that near post ball is always the most everybody always goes far post, but the reality is a near post run is the most dangerous because there's no reaction time. If you can redirect the ball, it's very hard because most time you run too far into the near post. So you kind of destroy your own angle because of the speed of play. That was great.
Well, can a set-piece goal be the catalyst for Olympia to get their way back into the game? Now they'll really want halftime. Great turn by Bravo. Has he fed it through to Mejia? He has. Alex Mejia to make it 4-1. Still going. Mejia blocked. Out for a corner. More heroics by Faulkner. Olympia hanging on by a thread. We did this last time. Broadcast.
Olivia's hanging on by a thread.
Yeah. Broadcast director Olivia Dubois sat next to us. Last time there was an Olympia game, we did that at least once.
Well, that was a great play by Mejia. I mean, he held up. He ended up getting a shot on goal. Goalkeeper made a save. It was good. Good stuff.
Faulkner has just been diving all over the place, just trying his absolute best to keep Olympia in the game.
Yeah, he's throwing himself everywhere. And
Well, we'll see what they can do from this corner. It's Conces. Great corner in. Mejia won the header, but couldn't keep it down.
No. Well, he ended up being flat-footed on that and ended up having to jump from a standing position. It's much nicer to get at least a little bit of a run so you can run into it and kind of whack it toward goal. He just kind of jumped up and flicked his neck at it. You can still score on those, but it's a little harder. Doesn't look as impressive either. Nothing more impressive than somebody running in and just hammering the ball in.
Right. Well, Olympia have scored, but it does still feel like they're hanging on. Another quick chance for West Seattle. They will definitely want halftime now because 3-1, as the Junction proved last week, is not insurmountable. As O'Keefe barrels down Sato. Olympia have the ball back. Stein has it robbed from behind by Chapko. Now Conces. Back to Keegan Chapko. Scored West Seattle's second goal. Now he's found the score of their third goal. Bravo. Back in towards Chapko. Has some space on the near side. Fires one in low. Nobody there in dark blue. And Olympia get it clear. Kept in by Schneider. Now Van Dijk looking to go long. And that one is in for Gage Lambert as somebody's going absolutely nuts in the snack shack behind us. I think it is due to the fact that, again, spoiler, if you're recording the World Cup game, plug your ears, Erling Haaland has opened the scoring for Norway, and they lead in the 80th minute.
This penalty, you don't deserve to win.
Yeah,
just want to say it. I'm going to say it again. Wow.
Faulkner gives it to the goalkeeper, Aiden Strickler of Westmont College. Grew up in Federal Way. In fact, went to Federal Way High School. Here's Mario Pavon, beaten in the air by Hallstrom. Van Dijk tried to send it back in, but only finds Taisei Iida. Herrera into Conces, well done by West Seattle to play out of the pressure. Hallstrom gives it back to Conces, who's able to turn. Wants a runner, has Bravo sort of waiting for it. In the end, he elects to pick out, I think what he was trying to do is find Chapko. In the end, it was past him. Guevara had to slide to keep it from going out for a throw-in, but could only send it into the arms of the goalkeeper, Strickler.
Yeah, that felt like a little bit of a miscommunication between the outside back and the midfielder.
Ooh, Keefe's missed it here. He'll be able to nod it back to Lambert, though.
You know, we've only been playing 40 minutes, and we've seen 4 goals, a missed penalty kick, and at least 2 really good chances to score.
Well, this is good. I hope West Seattle keep this up. It's been a couple of fun games.
Yeah.
We had 6 goals in the last one. We've got 4 now. Does not seem like we're at the end of the goals in this game.
No, man. There's going to be we said it last time, and we weren't wrong. It just feels like there's more goals coming because it really does feel like Olympia's defense is porous. And we are eager. We look very eager to score more goals.
Down the line for Bravo. Surrounded by 2 Olympia players. And they eventually get it clear into Stein. Up against Mateo Herrera. Stein creates space but couldn't feed it through to Schneider. It was blocked by Connor O'Keefe.
That was scary. Snyder was one-on-one. If that ball had gotten past our midfielder at that point, it would have been an exciting moment.
Well, Schneider's quick.
Oh, gosh,
and Stein seems like kind of that orchestrator in midfield.
Yeah.
He's got some good speed around him. Throwing is taken down the line into Alex Mejia, held up for now by Kuhn. Mejia trying to maneuver his way. It's kind of just a couple guys kicking at it over there.
Yeah.
Eventually, Olympia get it away into Van Dijk. His pass, though, cut out by Herrera. Brian Hallstrom, who's been busy all half, hasn't made a mistake so far.
No, he's done really well, and he gets around the outside, and he likes to cross the ball, which is good when you've got a player like Mejia up front. You want to give him service. And that was
this
good.
is good play.
That was fun.
Sato flicked it on for Van Dijk, but they couldn't quite link up.
Yeah, but they're trying. I kind of like that. Again, I think the Junction's a better team, but I still like seeing good play. I don't care who does it. And that was fun to watch.
Bravo couldn't direct it into Mejia. Van Dijk looking for Mario Pavon. There's Hallstrom to put in the tackle And the referee will give a free kick for West Seattle.
Hallstrom's fast. He's got fast little feet. He looks like the kind of guy who gets a lot of fouls. Look, he has these little steps that he's always taking. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
it's not one of those long strides that you see from like a center back.
No. He's got little steps, and it's like easy to trip a guy like that.
Mm-hmm. Guevara brings it down with a man on his back. Schneider, though, not really pressuring Guevara. As Herrera is brought down, that'll be a free kick.
You wonder if the heat's going to take its toll and slow the game down for the Junction on their runs. But so far, we haven't slowed down at all.
Mejia wins it in midfield. Van Dijk has gotten the worst of it here, but the referee didn't feel like he had a reason to stop the game until he decided to take pity on Jelle Van Dijk.
Well, I think the Olympia players are saying, well, that's a high kick.
No.
But the referee is...
I think he got the wind knocked out of him. It kind of looked like Mejia smacked his torso.
Yeah.
Jelle Van Dijk of Gonzaga, born in Eindhoven in the Netherlands. Captain of the under-19 team of FC Eindhoven. Not to be confused with PSV Eindhoven, the real big club from that city. But still, definitely nothing to point your nose at.
Yeah. Okay, here they're just doing the drop ball, and we're off.
I think that was well handled by the referee, especially getting close to halftime. Cameron back to Lambert, who couldn't really do too much about Olympia's goal, and other than that, a couple balls into the box, but hasn't been all that busy.
Yeah, well, a lot of people blame goalkeepers for any near post goal. It depends on the situation. Situational stuff. That was a great near post shot. As a goalkeeper, he couldn't stop that.
Because he's, in a free kick like that, he's not going to set up at his near post. He's going to be in the middle of the goal.
Yeah.
And it was fired in so quickly that all Sato had to do was redirect it.
Correct. I mean, I could see somebody saying, well, it was a near post goal. They should never let those in. Well, you've never played soccer if you've never seen a good near post goal.
Shielded by Herrera. Chapko can't get there. Step was made by Kuhn. He finds Stein. Turns away from Chapko and finds Schneider down the left-hand side. What can he do running at Guevara, who holds him up for the moment, but Schneider's kept possession. Van Dijk leaving it now for Stein, trying to escape from Constance. Stein will go for goal and score! Well, he couldn't do anything about the first near-post goal. That one...
He should have done better.
Yeah.
He should have done better on that one.
But it was take nothing away from Dash Stein, cut away from Constance, and caught everything there. Just laces through the ball. And with how this game was going, it does not feel like it should be 3-2. It does feel like there should be 5 goals, but Olympia shouldn't be as in it as they are.
Nope.
But man, 5 goals in the first half. We're now...
And a missed penalty. Don't forget
the missed penalty. We're ticking towards stoppage time.
Don't forget the missed penalty, because I'm getting scared now. I'm beginning to feel like maybe I can see the future.
It might be the curse of Tony Crudo.
It might be. Or the curse of missing your penalty kicks.
Yeah, but there's got to be a team out there somewhere at some point that's missed a penalty and won. Maybe it's just when you're watching.
Yeah, maybe it's just every team that I'm involved with.
Yeah. Chapko's able to get his cross in, but there's Faulkner to clear it away. Herrera takes down Van Dijk. It falls to
foul.
Cooper Schneider, who muscles Guevara out of the way. Referee allows play to continue. I'll tell you what, with how fast these guys are moving and how close this game is getting, the referee will have a little more pressure in the second half to try and keep things sensible.
If I was the West Seattle coach, I'd be disappointed right now.
I'm sure.
I mean, this game shouldn't even be a game. It should have been over at the 30-minute mark. And here we are with now a 1-goal lead against a team that thinks they can win it.
Floated in by Con says that should be Strickler's, and it is.
Yep.
He's going to go long here. Looking for Schneider. That one's easy for O'Keefe. Not his best header, but it does fall to Conces. Hallstrom blocked by Carlos Murillo Pavon, and now it's with Braulio Navarrete, and then eventually the goalkeeper Strickler. who really just smashes that. That'll go from one box to the other.
Holy smokes, that was like an 80-yard kick. Of course, the wind he's got the wind a little bit.
He does have the wind, yeah.
Still, long kick.
Have you ever coached or played on this field?
Yes, a long time ago.
I played on this field a couple years ago, and the wind really does make a difference. Hoisted forward by O'Keefe, brought down by the chest of Mejia. There was Cood, cleared only as far as Chapko. His shot is blocked. Now Bravo. Says, touches, goes for it with his left foot. That ball had some movement on it, but
it did.
Strickler kept his feet moving.
Yeah, he kept his eyes on it, and it didn't go between his hands like that one shot. But he's.
Yeah, I tell you what, I don't put too much blame on him for that, though.
No, of course not. I mean, but it's got to be. As a goalkeeper, you're like, really? It went between my hands, my two big hands with gloves on them.
Chapko loses out to Van Dyke. Stein. Schneider tried to flick it on for Sato. That one was read by O'Keefe, who's had a lot to do. Connor O'Keefe, here he is on the ball. Is just able to keep it in bounds, but he's lost it, and the referee says play on. Across came Guevara, and now he's Connor O'Keefe again. Man, it's a scrum out there. As
kind of a mess right now.
We got the guys in the snack shack going crazy again, and once again, I'll have to give the spoiler warning, but Erling Haaland has made it 2-0 as we are in the 90th minute, and it looks like Norway are going to go through.
That's right. 90th minute, second goal. There you go.
Well, that's it for the first half. A real thrilling first 45 minutes. 5 goals, 3 for the Junction, and 2 for Olympia, who at one point seemed like they were completely out of it, but they've dug themselves back in, and makes for a very interesting second half.
I think second half's going to be really good. I'm looking forward to seeing what adjustments are made, because I feel both coaches have adjustments they can make. Yeah. I can tell you right now. We'll talk about it when we come back, but I can feel it. I can tell you what they need to do.
Well, that we Welcome back to the Nino Cantu as we prepare for the second half of what has been a 5-goal thriller already. Junction at one point were 3-0 up and thought they had this one in the bag, but Olympia have come back and made it 3-2. As we prepare for the second half, if you're just now joining us, Olympia in the light blue kicking from left to right, Junction in the dark blue kicking from right to left. As we have at least one substitution, and it looks to be Kirabel Jurga, who's actually wearing Sean Brune's shirt. But Kirabel Jurga has come in and looks to have replaced Mateo Herrera. So there's at least that change for West Seattle. We'll see about Olympia as West Seattle tried to do what Olympia tried to do in the first half and shoot off the kickoff. Neither of them worked. Second substitution is over for West Seattle at right back. Ernesto Arevalo has replaced Miguel Guevara. Actually had a pretty good first half, but maybe is a bit burnt out. He did go down at one point and took a while to get back up. And here immediately is Jel Van Dyke, pushing it forward, finding Cooper Schneider over on the near side. Arevalo's going to have to do some early defending. Schneider with a couple step-overs and then maybe did a bit too much. But he has at least retained possession. Given away, though, by Olympia. That was Kuhn who lost it. Now here's Bravo turning away from one and feeding Iida down the left-hand side. These two have been money in the first half for West Seattle. Taisei Iida sits down one defender. Sliding challenge is a great one, but the referee's pointed to the spot.
Another penalty.
It's another penalty for West Seattle. And I'll tell you what, when we look at the replay here, the camera had a better angle than we did up in the broadcast booth. Iida turns this way, cuts the other way. Oh, you know what? I think the defender got the ball.
He probably did. We couldn't tell. It's hard to tell.
Well, Conces took the first penalty for West Seattle and missed it. You said something about Mejia saying in his head, I should have taken that. Well, he's taking this one.
Yeah.
And just a couple seconds into the second half, West Seattle have an opportunity to get a huge fourth goal and extend their lead to 2 goals. It's Alex Mejia. Saved again! Strickland saved it again! That's 2 penalty saves for him, and once again he's kept Olympia in it.
Oh my goodness. This is just a crazy game. We're just watching crazy soccer.
I mean, that does seem to happen when Junction play at home. The games are often quite chaotic, but I think they're a very fun team to watch.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm just like, I'm going to throw all my expectations out the window and just enjoy what's happening. You know, it was a tremendous save by the goalkeeper.
What a save.
It was unbelievable.
It's not a bad penalty by Mejia. Did a little stutter step, went for the bottom left-hand corner, but yeah, what a save. This guy, Aiden Strickler.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, unbelievable.
Well, again, Olympia stay in it somehow. Here's Dash Stein. Has looked threatening for Olympia and has played a good ball forward into Cooper Schneider, who goes down under a sliding challenge from Connor O'Keefe. No penalty there, but the referee will give a corner, and I think it's actually Olympia's first corner of the game.
Second, remember the first one they scored on? Or was that a free kick?
That was a free kick.
That was a free kick. You're right. I think it's a right free kick.
We'll see what they can conjure up from here. Sent in by Olympia towards the back post. Header won by the team in light blue, but no power on it. Easy for Lambert. He rolls it out to Kirabel Jurga. Came in for Mateo Herrera. Jurga feeds Conces. His pass is red before it could reach Taisei Iida, but there's Jurga to win it back. Now McCammon, who, despite all the goals and all the action, didn't have a whole lot to do as a center back in the first half. That one's fed through to Marcus Bravo, who's been very, very dangerous for the Junction. Can't win the throw in that time, though. Kuhn doing just enough. Corbin Kuhn, 20-year-old, initially from Kirkland. Went to Lake Washington High School. Now goes to Westmont College. O'Keefe trying to feed Mejia. Has he gotten the better of the center back? He shoulder checks the center back Faulkner. Or excuse me, that wasn't Faulkner, that was Kuhn. But in the end, it goes all the way through to the goalkeeper. And now, here come Olympia again. Forward by Van Dijk, looking for Schneider. Or excuse me, that wasn't Van Dijk, that was Peck. Brought down by Mejia, but I think even he knew he was in an offside position there.
Yeah, it looks to me like Olympia started the game just like last time. They're going,
that's a good ball into Sato, flicked it on. I think he thought Cooper Schneider was going to make that back post run.
Yeah. I think that they look much better when they stay up down the middle of the field. This outside is just not working for Olympia. And as far as West Seattle's concerned, I think we just have to put away our chances.
Yeah. We've missed two penalties.
I mean,
had 2 penalties saved.
Well, I count those as misses. I mean, if the other team gives you a 12-yard shot with nobody on you, you got to take it.
Here's Ethan Peck for Olympia. That one was read and cut out by Aravalo, but Peck's got it back. Cuts away from Ernesto Aravalo. Covering well for him was Keegan Chapko.
I mean, we're just clamping down this outside left side of the field. I have no idea why they keep trying to go down it. It just hasn't worked. They've got nothing from it. Not a cross, not a pass. They lose the ball every time. They did the same thing in the first half.
Referee stopping game to again take a look at Jelle Van Dijk, who got smacked by Alex Mejia in the first half. Throw in taken by Olympia. They have it in midfield with Stein. He's swarmed by 4 West Seattle players, and eventually it is the 4th Keegan Chapko to take it off of him, only for Stein to win it right back. Man, it is just a scrum in there. The referee eventually blows his whistle and gives a free kick for Olympia.
Yeah. Well, we've had ugly moments in this game where both teams look like they're just decided to kick each other and worry about the ball later. That was kind of one of those moments. Could be frustration about not being ahead by several goals now, but let's see if they do that near post run again, because it's kind of the same thing on this side.
Referee trying to calm things down in there, maybe some pushing and shoving. As Schneider leaves it, Stein curls one towards the back post. Not a bad ball, just over the reaching head of Kuhn. It was there for Lambert, who quickly outlets Jurga. He gives it to Iida. It's Aravalo who's moved forward for West Seattle. Iida gives it to Jurga, who's got a lot of room. Jurga feeding it through towards Aravalo. He's away from the goalkeeper, didn't have the angle. Cleared off the line by Olympia for a corner.
Another goal that should have been. But great run. Everybody was moving. It was kind of a reminder of us in the first half. Players are just bombing through. So when we're sending the ball forward, we're not just sending the ball. We're sending 4 or 5 players running all the time. It's making a huge difference.
Iida will send this one in. Checking short for a close one is Bravo. Iida floats it in, punched upwards by Strickler, and he'll have to win his own punch, which he does. Over the head of Connor O'Keefe. Strickler's looking for the run. Instead, we'll roll it short to Kuhn over on the far side.
Okay, here they come down the left side again.
Haven't had a lot of luck down this left-hand side. Here's Ethan Peck. Gives it to Stein.
I think they just like going down the left-hand side.
The referee's given a free kick, signaling for a late challenge on Stein. So Olympia will have another opportunity to send this in.
I think Stein hit a really nice ball last time. It was a little high. You know, he was too far above the players' heads and was dropping, but it'd be nice to drive it. Think he's going to go short.
This will be Jelle Van Dijk. High floater into the box. Lambert gets there.
I don't know.
Yeah, a bit easy for the goalkeeper when you give it that much airtime.
Yeah, again,
over the top. Looking for Ernesto Aravalo, who's made a couple of those really long runs all the way from the right back position. And now he's pressing the ball. He's got to get back to his position here. He's being covered for by Chapko at the moment. McCammon away. Jurga putting his body in twice. Really just flailing limbs there. Referee says play on. Here's Richard Conses. Has it again. Chips one into the path of Ryan Hallstrom, who's just beaten to it by Faulkner.
Huh. That's afraid he's going to kick it out of the stadium. Yeah, Hallster's done some really good stuff on that side. He had a bit of a tough stretch at the end of the half, but it'd be nice to get that width again.
It's Connor O'Keefe. His normal center back partner, Sean Bruin, is absent. He's been called up by Haiti's under-20s national team as Bravo was pressuring Kuhn and forced a poor header that will concede a corner.
Bravo's all over the place again. Maybe he's just figured out that just running all game long is the secret.
Mm-hmm. That must be it.
Don't tell that to Messi, by the way.
Yeah. Similar caliber of player.
Oh, yeah. Right. Neck and neck.
Yeah. Conces will send this in towards the back post, and Iida couldn't control it. I wonder if that was by design.
I don't know. It was a very weird one because they had two people on West Seattle coming short, which takes two people out of the box. It seems like you'd put it right in the box then if you're pulling people out and not over the top of the box. I don't know. Seemed like an odd idea. But you're right. Maybe it was
just the fact that Iida was there.
Yeah.
It's not really a normal place for a player to be on a corner kick.
Maybe that was why they pulled the two players forward.
Right. Schneider, surrounded by both Aravalo and O'Keefe. Bravo gives it to Chapko. And it goes through to McCammon. Teague McCammon of UPS, originally from Dallas, Texas. Started 12 and made 15 appearances for UPS in the last season. 3 goals and 4 assists for him in 2025.
Wow. 3-2 still. I can't believe we played close to, 7 or 8 minutes and there hasn't been a goal.
Yeah.
It's kind of odd.
Over 10 minutes played in the second half as West Seattle will go to their bench again. They made 2 subs at halftime, and now will make a third. It's Conces who will come off. And it looks like he's being replaced by Carmelo Kasim. So I imagine that will be a bit of a switch-up of formation here. Kasim. Yeah, so Kasim is going to play center back next to O'Keefe, and McCammon will push up to replace Conces in midfield.
Okay. Because Kasim played left back last game. And did a good job.
Yeah, that's another one who can just bomb.
Yeah.
But of course, being a center back, the only time he'll be bombing is in recovery.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, he pushes up. We've seen that on occasion from the odd center back around the globe. Joel Matip liked to do that for Liverpool. Here's Alex Mejia. Turns, goes for goal. Caught it.
Nice.
Couldn't direct it quite where he wanted, but not a bad effort from Alex Mejia. He's still chasing his second goal of the day. If he scores, he'll go level with Taisei Iida on 5 goals on the year. Iida, of course, still in this game and always a threat to score as O'Keefe gets muscled off of it by Mirai Sato. He'll go for goal, Sato, and it's wide of the near post.
That was kind of a comedy of errors, actually. Our player had the tackle, came in, and somehow missed the ball. I think it just hopped over his foot. Sato ended up getting it, and, he needs to take shots if he's their leading goal scorer.
It's Hallstrom forcing his way past one and finding Taisei Iida. Ryan Hallstrom has just had an exceptional game at left back.
Yeah.
Here's McCammon, has just been pushed forward into midfield after playing all of this match at center back. Now Keegan Chapko, wide for Aravalo. He was brought in at halftime. Chapko once more.
This is good patience right now.
Angled in by Hallstrom into Mejia, who was looking for that top corner and nearly got there.
Almost. The goalkeeper was just standing watching. It was great. It was good composed play. That to me is more like the Junction's DNA. That looks like what when I saw them first play, I thought this is what they want to do, something like that.
Strickler into Mario Pavon, who has his pocket picked by Hallstrom. Down the left-hand side goes Ryan Hallstrom, trying to turn on the Jets. Can he keep it in? No, he can't, and it will be a goal kick seen all the way by the center back, Evan Faulkner, who also has had a very good game for Olympia. Coming up on an hour, 3-2. No goals scored in the second half after 5 in the first. We have had a penalty missed, though, by Alex Mejia. Sent long by Olympia. Sato flicks it on towards Schneider. Too close to Aravalo. Now O'Keefe over to the freshest legs on the pitch, Carmelo Kasim, having replaced Conces and pushed McCammon into midfield.
But he's also, Kasim's dropped back to the left back position, what we saw him at last game, where he maybe is more comfortable.
McCammon finds Bravo. He showed too much to Cooper Schneider. Or excuse me, that's not Schneider. That's Corbin Kuhn. Who penalized for a push in the back on Kirabel Yurga. Sent long by O'Keefe. He's looking for Mejia. That's a great ball by O'Keefe. Really dropped it in the bucket, but Mejia has no help and surrounded by 2. There's not much he could do there.
Yeah, if he was able to turn them, they were both right together, so he could have gotten past the foul again.
McCammon hauled to the ground by Mirai Sato.
A little bit of frustration on the part of Olympia right now.
Pushing forward for West Seattle is Chapko, and looked like he ran out of room, but in fact he won a corner off of Faulkner, so Chapko kind of taking matters into his own hands there.
Yeah, I think he was running with the player. The player touched it, and then they just fought over not touching it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It was like, okay.
Iida will swing this in. He's been quiet in the second half, Taisei Iida. Of course, only 15 minutes in. Swung in by Iida. Not a bad ball towards the back post. Peck was there to get it clear.
Well, the first time these two teams met this year, it was 2-1 Olympia at their place. So I guess a one-goal game is what we expected.
The goal scorer in that game was actually Marcus Bravo.
Oh, again.
And now his 2 goals on the season have both come against Olympia, and he's looked great today.
Yeah.
Really likes playing against this team. McCammon. O'Keefe into Chapko. Plays the soccer at Whitman, Keegan Chapko. Now here's Bravo. Gets it back from Urabel. It deflects its way to Aravalo. Plays it in low. Marcus Bravo over the crossbar. Took a deflection.
Ended right up on his foot.
Corner kick for West Seattle.
Again, he played to give and go, and I'm not sure if he was aimed for, but he was in the exact spot to be. It really should have scored that one.
Yeah, probably, but evidently it got deflected.
Yeah, but it was right to goalkeeper. It'd be better if it was deflected around the post as opposed to over the top.
Yurga this time. Dropped at the back post. Connor O'Keefe couldn't direct it.
That was a good ball.
He'll want that one back.
Yeah. He was open. Either they had boxed out the defenders and allowed him to be open like that because he didn't have a defender in sight.
This game has slowed down ever so slightly, but it's still played at a fast pace, and McCammon will go for goal. Draws the save out of Strickler at his near post. McCammon wins it back and wins a corner.
We're really starting to assert ourselves now. I think they're just getting tired in the midfield, and we've got people bombing. Like, Bravo's not the only one who's bombing. They're all kind of bombing through the defense, looking for gaps.
And we also have 3 fresh players on the pitch. They haven't made any subs yet. They do have plenty of players warming up on the touchline, Olympia. So this corner's taken short into Taisei Iida. Gives it back to Yurga, whose cross should be Strickler's, and it is.
Yeah. I don't know if our players are ready for that cross, actually.
Good step by Hallstrom.
Yeah, we're starting to dominate the play, basically. I mean, we're owning this middle third.
That's a good ball. Taisei Iida inside the box. What can he find? Finds a save out of Strickler. Cleared before Bravo could get there. He would have had a tap in Marcus Bravo. Danger not fully cleared from an Olympia standpoint, though. That pass from McCammon was off the mark, and I think Olympia just happy to clear that out of their own half. Ryan Hallstrom down the line for Iida. That is a crunching challenge by Braulio Navarrete. And Mejia's stayed down, and Jelle Van Dyke has laid down on his own accord, and that's the third time he's gone down, and his afternoon might be done.
You know, he's holding his head. I wonder if he had I don't want to say it. He may have had a head injury that he kind of talked his way out of, because he's stopped several times, and it looks like he's got a headache or the heat stroke or something's going on.
I imagine he will be replaced here.
Yeah.
So we'll see who they bring on to replace him.
Well, they were warming people up.
Yep. One guy is with the fourth official and has put on his top. I imagine he will come on. Olympia have a free kick coming. As West Seattle look to be preparing another 2 subs here.
Oh. Well, the trainer's working on his knee. But he got up, and he is...
Nope, he's coming off. He's handing off the armband.
Okay.
And will be replaced after a good game, Van Dyke.
Yeah, he did well.
Looks like one of the players getting ready to come on for West Seattle is Pedro De La Rosa. And we'll see who's coming on here. It will be Cooper Loudon coming in for Olympia. He replaces Jelle Van Dyke.
Well, this game it doesn't feel like a one-goal game. It just feels like the Junction should be ahead by a lot more.
Swung in high and over everyone by Taisei Iida. Excuse me, correction, that's Connor Loudon. And now we'll see the 2 subs for West Seattle. And it looks like it's going to be Alex Mejia and Marcus Bravo to come off for the Junction. So 2 of West Seattle's most dangerous players.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of action.
Especially Mejia, who we've seen in previous games, is not one who's so easily replaced. And the 2 coming in for the Junction are Derek Johnson and Brian De La Rosa.
Okay. Well, the coach could be trying to give them a rest for about 10 minutes and put them back in 10, 15 minutes. With 10 minutes to go when the other team will probably be pretty darn exhausted. They're already looking exhausted, to be honest.
Be a goal kick for Olympia here.
Okay. Yeah, right now Olympia looks like their legs are out of it.
Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, they've only made 1 sub. They've only brought in Loudon.
Yeah. Well, they're looking second to almost everything.
Here's Peck on the far side. Chips one into Schneier, seen all the way by Aravalo. So Mejia won't get his 5th goal. He's replaced, as well as Marcus Bravo. So West Seattle have 5 sets of fresh legs on the pitch, or fresh-ish at this point for those who came on at halftime.
And Olympia's only made 1 sub?
1 change, and it was kind of a forced one. Yeda's got some space to work with ahead of the back line here, but it seems like he's lost a little bit of his speed in this heat. De La Rosa angles one in towards Johnson. That was easy for Strickler. They'll have to change how they play West Seattle, because you can already tell by looking at Derek Johnson that he is, at least in stature, a different player from Alex Mejia. And in fact, the way that the Junction have set up right now, it looks like they've moved Iida into that center forward role and put Johnson over on the left.
Well, we seem to be throwing more players forward, so we've got 3 forwards up front. I think we're trying to go for the win.
Here's Kirabel Yurga.
Yeah, we're leaving 3 players up all the time now.
O'Keefe. Down the line for Chapko. Yurga once again. O'Keefe is pushed forward from center back. Here he is. Didn't have any options ahead of him. Chooses to go back for Kasim. Now Hallstrom. Johnson into Iida. Tried to find Yurga, who had to stretch to get his foot on it, and surrounded by bodies. West Seattle concede possession. However, that clearance from Strickler is not what Olympia wanted.
Well, the Junction are connecting pretty well right now in the midfield. They're kind of dominating the midfield, pushing into the upper middle third, and looking like they're getting ready to start pinging some shots. They're really close to unleashing something at the goalkeeper. It just has that feel to it. We've thrown 3 players forward. I mean, look, they're at the top of the box.
Right.
That means they expect to get the ball there.
Kept in by Peck, but
And
losing
there
out to
they
Aravalo. Now Chepko with some space. Chepko will go for goal. Had the right height, but just couldn't wrap his foot around it.
Well, you can feel that we were lining up to start shooting from there. You know what I mean? It just had all the feel of we've kind of controlled the midfield. We've dominated. We pushed them back. Now start just pinging shots.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
Tony, we're what? We're 25 minutes into this second half. How has there not been a goal?
You missed a penalty kick. No, I the goalkeeper's done really well. He's made a couple of good saves, and so I think we have to remember that. I don't know how we're not scoring goals, to be honest. It feels like we should be, I don't know, at least 3 goals ahead. And Olympia keeps coming down this left side, and it just is just dying on the vine.
Well, Yurga was beaten that time by Stein and will get booked for dragging him down. So Olympia scored their first goal from a set piece. Can they add to that here?
Well, the sun's in the goalkeeper's eyes, but I think if they hang it up, it's going to be too much for
The
them.
wind is away from them.
Yeah.
The sun doesn't favor Lambert here, but the wind does.
Well, right now they're setting up for that near post run. If you kind of look at it, now they've put Aida in there, but otherwise that gap is a useful gap.
Sent in by Stein, drops at the back post. Lambert committed himself, and the ball finds its way to him.
Yikes! It was behind his back for a minute there.
Bit of an odd one for Gage Lambert.
It was.
Hallstrom into Johnson. Derek Johnson swings it over to Aravalo on the far side. Chapko can't keep it in.
Yeah, that was a strange combination of save and everything there.
So 73 minutes in almost, and still only 1 sub made by Olympia. Throw-in taken forward by Kuhn. Chapko back to O'Keefe, who gives it to McCammon. Now Carmelo Kasim. Who just sends it the way of the goalkeeper. I think that there's some serious wind out there.
Yeah, it must be. I mean, you can
see how hard the flags are flying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that just held right up, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. There is some serious wind going from north to south.
It's interesting playing into the wind. It's hard. You just tell your team, keep the ball on the ground, but it's still hard.
And Olympia don't want to keep the ball on the ground anyway.
No.
That is a nice driving run by Stein, and for the second time, a Junction player will get booked for dragging him down.
Yeah,
this time it's Keegan Chapko.
Yeah, Stein's got some good movement in there. He just doesn't have quite enough support. And I've said it before, I'm not crazy about their coming down the left side. It's just a failure. What's going on? Okay.
Referee just didn't seem quite ready. Loudon will send this long. He's looking for Mirai Sato. O'Keefe wins the header, and good. Lambert instructs Aravalo to leave it for him. Ernesto Aravalo of Bellevue College.
Right in the head.
Smacked off the head of Ethan Peck. Aravalo, another one of those 2025 Bellevue Athletic players coming across with Mike Mata.
How many of those do we have?
Oh, a fair few. Fenster, Aravalo, Hallstrom.
Oh, really? Okay.
Enrique Guerrero. Maybe a few others. Here's Iida down the left. Couldn't feed it into Johnson. Sent away by Faulkner. McCammon picks it back up.
But, it's, again, oops.
Kasim lets it roll past him. Goes all the way back to Lambert. Sato applies the pressure, but Lambert is able to get the pass off into O'Keefe. Sees the run of Hallstrom. Can he get the ball to him? Yes, he can. It's a great ball by O'Keefe. Hallstrom's got some room here. Fires it across the face of goal. Johnson, 4-2.
Well done.
The substitute, Derek Johnson, with a huge goal for West Seattle.
Wow. 3 touches, ball in the goal. Very nice.
Well, back to front from West Seattle. Lambert into O'Keefe. We'll see the end of that long ball from Connor O'Keefe. Ryan Hallstrom has been a threat all day. Perfect ball in, and Johnson just goes high. No chance for Strickler. And with the way this half has gone, that is a massive 4th goal for West Seattle.
That may be the effect of not subbing in a hot day. It's 70 on the field. I'll bet the field probably is 100 degrees on their feet. And Olympia hasn't made any subs, and we ran right through them. And like you said, it was goalkeeper to O'Keefe, long ball, and then crossed in front. Wow, nice goal.
So after that goal, Olympia will make their second substitution. Neil Boyle is replaced by Jungwoo Ryu of DePaul University, originally from Sammamish. Ryu went to high school at Skyline. First team All-State in 2023 when Skyline won the 4A state championship.
Oh, Skyline won the 4A.
Aravalo down the line looking for Johnson, the goal scorer.
Yeah, the Junction have really kind of put on a bit of a show here in the second half. They've played really well. The first half had some struggles to get some composure on the ball, but they look really comfortable on the ball right now. They're moving the ball around quick enough. You know what I mean? It's going from side to side, front to back. And the pace of the movement is good.
O'Keefe trying to find De La Rosa. Overhit by O'Keefe. Pedro De La Rosa, having come in replacing Alex Mejia, has not, or excuse me, not Pedro, it's Brian De La Rosa, has not impacted the game so much since coming on.
I don't think he's touched the ball. But again, one of the things that's happened is maybe it's because Mejia's left. We don't have that target player, so we're keeping the ball in the midfield longer instead of going up and back. So the forwards don't get the ball as much until right in front of the goal type of thing.
Strickler. Header won by O'Keefe.
Oof.
Missed by Kuhn. Here's De La Rosa. Up against Corbin Kuhn, who drags back De La Rosa. That will be one of the easiest free kick calls this referee will ever make.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious.
And this one will be right at the corner of the 18-yard box. We'll see what West Seattle can do from here.
Is he left-footed? So he's going to curl it toward the goalkeeper?
It's going to be De La Rosa. O'Keefe is walking over to maybe give some instructions to Brian De La Rosa of Bellevue College, or formerly of Bellevue College.
Oh, well, now we got to watch O'Keefe to see where he runs. Because obviously he just said, this is where I'm going to run. Put the ball there.
Sent in by De La Rosa, and the referee will blow for a free kick. It did end up in the back of the net. It was Aravalo who won the header, but
yeah,
the whistle went before that happened. So 4-2. West Seattle have the lead. Olympia did well to fight back, but are now 2 goals behind and have not created much in the second half.
No, they looked heavy-legged, very tired. They're just not quick enough.
I mean, in this game environment and the heat and the speed, I think West Seattle did a good job to make all the subs that they've made.
Yes.
And you know, Mike Mata will feel like he got the edge on Luke Sandblom in that department.
Yeah, well, they also picked up the pace of play a lot. I mean, when they first started the game, as I remember, I don't need to listen back to the tape, but we were saying that both teams looked a little slow. It just wasn't moving fast enough, and it looks like the Junction just said, we're going to speed the play up. And they did. So the ball is just moving much quicker.
Chapko couldn't connect with De La Rosa. Peck back for Kuhn. Pressure coming from Johnson, and he's won it off of Corbin Kuhn. Here goes Derek Johnson. Cuts away from Ryu. Tries to feed it forward. Jurga, can he get there? Player goes down. Jurga still has the ball. It's Carabel Jurga off the post. Cleared, not totally. Jurga goes down. This is pandemonium inside the Olympia box, and they've eventually got it clear.
That was awesome.
Not clear enough. Whoa! Going for the back post was Derek Johnson, and he nearly got there.
Yeah, he reminds me of Bravo a little bit. He come on the field and just bombing. He's just going to make a name for himself. I mean, he was running right through everybody there. That was exciting. I think Olympia was lucky to walk away without something happening there. It could have been a penalty. It could have been a goal. Anything could have happened. They dodged a bullet.
This will be sent long by Strickler. Again, you see that wind playing a huge factor as Jurga wins it. Now De La Rosa flicking it forward. Johnson has it inside the 18-yard box. Back post, De La Rosa 5-2.
My goodness, what a good goal.
Junction have looked like scoring today.
Yes.
And now they are at 5.
You know, and there's 7-8 minutes left. They could score another 2. I mean, the Olympia's just given up. They have no midfield presence. The defense is just done.
Well, we'll see the replay here. One in midfield and just back to front so effortlessly. Derek Johnson outside of the boot, and De La Rosa could hardly miss. But, man, Derek Johnson has been exceptional coming off of the bench.
Yep, just walked out and just changed everything. I mean, he's just running at him, making things happen, and finishing well. Just really well. Good job.
It's, what feels like should have happened in the first half has happened in the second half.
Yeah. It could have happened earlier. We don't know. That missed penalty could have given them a little energy to fight, but if we would have made that, it would have just ended this game because it feels like this one's just about over.
Yeah, I'm not sure Olympia are coming back from a 3-goal deficit. They did get 2 when they were 3-0 down in the first half. Over the top, looking for Johnson. He will get there. Derek Johnson is offside.
But it was close.
It was real close.
I mean, if it was offsides, it wasn't by more than a foot. And I don't know if the player meant to do it. I think Johnson just got excited.
Here come the subs finally from Olympia.
Yes, they should have made these subs much earlier, just to give the guys a break, especially in the midfield and the back. They could have kept their forwards because Sato wasn't running that much, to be honest. See, now they're changing forwards. I don't know. I would have changed midfielders and defenders at this point, or much earlier.
So it's Felix Songolo, Tanner Frick, and Casey Smith who have all come on. We'll see where they all line up. It looks like Frick has come in for the left. Well, we'll see who he's come in for.
Well, they changed both their forwards. So they're putting 2 up.
Sato and Schneider were 2 that came off.
So now they're running with a straight-up 4-4-2.
Yeah.
Oh, and they've thrown more people at the back.
Good ball by De La Rosa into Johnson. A goal and an assist from Hinson's coming on. It looked like Johnson was offside.
Yeah, he was.
And he was.
Yeah, that was a pretty obvious moment. Because the player who passed the ball had a lot of space to go into. Boy, this left side is just in tatters.
Yeah,
for Olympia. They don't have a right side, so
yeah. It was Carlos Murillo Pavon the third who came off. So Songolo, Frick, and Smith replacing Sato, Murillo Pavon, and Schneider.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't look like we're going to make any more subs for the rest of this game.
No.
I really like the kind of the way we went from having a tent pole forward in Mejia, to basically two forwards who are running off each other and connecting with balls played into the area. I like that.
Here come Olympia on the attack. Frick trying to find Smith, cut out by West Seattle, and Carmelo Kasim, although that's a bit of a hospital pass from him. Really just a tangle of limbs there. In the end, the throw-in will go the way of West Seattle.
I think it's the first time they've gone down the right, that Olympia has gone down the right side in this half. I don't know about the first half if they went down there once. They didn't even have people over there. Maybe they had planned to flood it once they beat us on the left side and served it in, but didn't look like it.
Excuse me. No, I was incorrect. It was Corbin Kuhn who was replaced by Felix Songolo. So Carlos Murillo Pavon is still over on the right-hand side.
Here we go.
But now here comes Jurga. Can he make it 6? He's got Johnson with him. Kiribel Jurga wants to go himself. Tried to feed it through to Brian De La Rosa. There was Felix Songolo to get it clear.
Yeah, the two forwards in that case were just in a perfect line. One of them should have been farther forward. One should have been deep. De La Rosa probably should have come back to the top of the box. Instead, he ran in kind of behind Johnston.
Songolo, born in Zambia, but went to high school in Portland at De La Salle North Catholic.
Oh. It players from all over the world here.
McCammon striking one, and Strickler wasn't totally sure, but that one never looked like it was going to beat him at the far post.
Yeah, it was a bit wide, but it's it's a good idea. Once you get a team back there, you really should ping shots, because if you don't, then they drop back. By shooting it gets them to come out sometimes and open spaces for forwards to run. So it's never a bad idea to shoot from 25 yards.
There's that wind again.
Gosh.
Another substitution was made by West Seattle. Chase Larson came in. He won that header. Looks like he replaced Ryan Hallstrom at left back. A very good outing from Hallstrom.
Yeah. We've had quite a few players who've had really good games today. Bravo had a good game. He had a good game. Yeah. Hallstrom had a good game.
Conces, before he came off, was good.
Yeah. There was a lot of good play. I think it's a well-deserved win, too. We've had a lot of shots. Mm-hmm. We've been extremely dangerous.
So with this win, West Seattle assuming the craziest of comebacks. That's a good ball in towards the back post, cleared by Olympia. With this win, West Seattle will move up to 4th in the standings, 1 point clear of Mid Lakes and 9 points behind Portland. Their next match is this Friday the 10th, where they host first place Snohomish. That one kicks off at 7 p.m. I believe Owen Camaros will be back for that one. And then the final game of the season for the West Seattle Junction, a week from today, Sunday the 12th, hosting Portland, kicks off at 2.
Well, these have been some really good games. I think that the Junction have really grown into the year. Mm-hmm. It's unfortunate they end up where they're at, but I wouldn't be surprised if they won the last 2 games of the season with the confidence they've got going right now.
Here's Johnson. I think he may have cemented his place in the squad after this performance as Olympia looked to go on the counter. It's not a bad ball looking for Tanner Frick. Well defended, though, by O'Keefe and Aravalo. Chapko gives it to De La Rosa, who's a little bit too lax there. Peck fouled by Keegan Chapko. That will be a free kick for Olympia as we tick towards second half stoppage time.
There should be some. They've had the player went down injured. So we should be adding, what do you think, another 3 minutes?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. I don't think it's going to change the outcome of the game.
That would be kind of the miracle of all miracles if Olympia were to score 3 goals in stoppage time.
That's it?
In fact, that's it. There will be no stoppage time. Referee says they ain't coming back. Why keep playing?
Yeah.
So West Seattle win 5-2. There were 5 goals in the first half, only 2 in the second half. Could have been 9 goals on the game if West Seattle hadn't missed 2 penalties.
Yeah.
Great performances across. Mejia, Bravo, and Iida all looked very threatening. Johnson came in and changed the game. Ryan Hallstrom was great out of left back. Conces had a good game.
Yeah, everybody played really well. It was unfortunate the other team got 2 goals, but that happens. Played well.
We just mentioned the schedule. West Seattle with 2 games left on the season, both of them at home. I believe this is your last game for the year, Tony Crudo,
yep.
So thank you for stepping in. It's been really great to have you.
It's fun to be here.
All the games we did for the Vashon Island Pirates high school team this year is nice to be able to continue that. Not, Junction, not quite as successful as Vashon were, but it's
higher level.
Higher level for
Much
sure.
higher level.
For sure. Yeah.
I mean, there are quite a few players who on both teams who've won state championships.
Yeah, sure.
So,
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Well, that's a conversation for another time about which Pirates could or which Vashon players could get in and which couldn't. But thank you, Tony Crudo. Thank you to our broadcast director, Olivia Dubois. And from the Nino Cantu, we leave you with the final score: FC Olympia 2.